There was once a young man named Arjun, known in his town for being intelligent, ambitious, and confident. He believed he could achieve anything through sheer willpower. He often said, "My mind is my servant. It does what I tell it to." But as time passed, something began to change. He started worrying about small things, reacting to minor insults, and losing control over his thoughts. His mind, which once obeyed him, now began to control him. One day, frustrated and restless, he went to visit an old monk who lived by the mountains. He had heard that this monk could bring peace to even the most troubled souls. Arjun said, "Master, I've read hundreds of books, practiced motivation, even meditation, yet my thoughts are louder than ever. I can't stop thinking. I can't control my mind." The monk smiled gently. "So, you wish to control your mind?" Arjun nodded. "Yes, before it's too late." The monk poured 2 cups of tea and said, "Come, sit with me." He began to pour tea into Arjun's cup. He kept pouring and pouring till the cup overflowed. Startled, Arjun said, "Stop! The cup is overflowing." The monk calmly replied, "Exactly like your mind. How can peace enter when it's already full of noise?" Arjun lowered his eyes, and understood his mind was drowning in its own thoughts. The monk took him outside to a garden where 2 dogs were fighting, one black, one white. They barked and bit each other, rolling in the dust. The monk said, "These 2 dogs live in everyone's mind. One represents peace, patience, awareness. The other represents anger, greed, and fear." "They fight every day," Arjun asked. "Which one wins?" The monk smiled. "The one you feed the most." Arjun stood silently. He realized that every negative thought he entertained, every fear, jealousy, and grudge, was food for the dark dog. And the longer he fed it, the weaker his peace became. The monk then gave him a small bowl of water and said, "Walk through the village with this bowl full to the brim. But remember, if even a single drop spills, you'll have to start again." As Arjun walked, people called out to him, mocked him. Some even tried to distract him. But his focus remained on the bowl. Every step was careful, silent, and aware. When he returned, the monk asked, "How did you feel while walking?" Arjun said, "I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I was completely focused on the bowl." The monk nodded. That is how you control your mind, by choosing one direction and giving it full attention. The world will always shout, your mind will always wander, but when awareness becomes your only path, distractions lose power. Days turned into weeks. Arjun stayed with the monk, learning not to silence his thoughts, but to observe them. He discovered something profound, that control does not mean suppressing the mind. It means understanding it. When anger arose, he didn't fight it, he watched it. When fear appeared, he didn't run. He breathed through it. Slowly, the storms in his head began to fade, replaced by quiet waves of awareness. One evening, he asked the monk, "Master, what if I lose control again?" The monk smiled. "Then remember this, the mind is like a horse. If you hold the reins too tight, it panics. If you let them go, it runs wild. Control comes from balance, not force." That night, Arjun sat by the river. The moonlight shimmered on the water, and for the first time in years, he felt his thoughts moving as gently as the current. He whispered to himself, "It was never about fighting my mind. It was about befriending it." Moral: the mind is a powerful servant, but a dangerous master. If you don't train it with awareness, it will control you with chaos. Learn to pause, to breathe, to watch, because peace isn't found by silencing the mind, it's found by understanding it.